Resident Evil and Assassin's Creed are both two very recognizable video game franchises out there, and they're probably bigger than you can even imagine. But even though they've had a lot of success and have attracted and maintained a huge fan base, there are some questionable entries in these video game series. So yeah, you could say they're good franchises, but not all titles were great. However, from time to time a video game unicorn appears, a franchise with zero bad games. Can you believe that? Yes, it can be difficult for developers to keep delivering great quality titles all the time, but there are collections out there that include nothing but hits. Popular and already established game franchises have been around since the first console generation, and they remain strong and manage to bring in fans both old and new. Alongside those already established franchises, many others have followed suit in an attempt to make a mark in the gaming industry. Some succeeded, while others had their ups and downs. Hello and welcome to Hotfix Gaming. And today in this video, we'll be talking about 10 video game franchises that have no bad games whatsoever. So let's get started. 10. Yakuza. With over 20 Yakuza games, including the spin-offs and remakes, there isn't an outright bad one among them. While upon its release, Yakuza Like a Dragon was thought to be finally the game to break the streak of good titles, it didn't. Sure, it did mess with the series formula, but changing the protagonist, setting, and combat actually didn't make it bad. On the contrary, fans loved and embraced the change. And even a Dead Souls spin-off, which was a non-canon zombie game, didn't manage to break the streak. While it isn't an amazing game, it isn't a bad one either, so overall Yakuza keeps its clean record of good games. 9. Metal Gear. Some of the most beloved stealth action games ever come from the Metal Gear franchise. The series have managed to set the bar quite high for storytelling in video games through its extensive use of cinematics, especially in its recent games. Sure, the story can sometimes veer into the absurd, but that's just part of the Metal Gear charm. The games are known for their great gameplay, amazing music, and some memorable and outlandish characters. It's safe to say that the Metal Gear franchise is Hideo Kojima's magnum opus, an amazing series through and through, with not a single bad game. Number 8. Max Payne. One of the most iconic action games launched in the early 2000s is Max Payne. But despite the first game being released in 2001, there have only been 3 titles since then. The first game follows Max on his quest of avenging the death of his wife and daughter, while the second title follows Max as he evolved, but unfortunately resorted to painkillers to numb the pain of losing his family. The last title in the franchise came 9 years after Max Payne 2, but everyone agreed Rockstar Games did an amazing job making it worth the long wait. With each game having its dark but well-written tale, usually revolving around some sort of conspiracy, Max Payne soon had become a favorite amongst gamers. 7. Arkham. The Arkham series aren't just some of the best superhero games ever made, they also represent some of the best Batman stories out there, including numerous Easter eggs along the way. The first title, Arkham Asylum, brought in some memorable characters, such as the Joker, and perfectly captured the essence of the comics. Arkham City offered its players an amazing open world filled with numerous villains and criminals. Arkham Origins have some of the best boss fights, while the last entry, Arkham Knight, introduced the Batmobile, as well as a variety of gadgets to take down enemies. The series continues to be praised to this day, and it is used by many gamers as a comparison for newer DC games. 6. Red Dead Redemption. While everybody knows about Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2, some might not remember or even know that the series has in fact begun with Red Dead Revolver back in 2004. However, the first one to experience major success was RDD1. This title brought a vast, open land and somber story that left many of us heartbroken, but also made the experience memorable. Meanwhile, Red Dead Redemption 2 was even bigger and better, with amazing storytelling, graphics, and world building. There are so many things you can do in this game, such as hunting, exploring, fishing, playing poker, or just riding your horse and enjoying the scenery. 5. The Witcher. When gamers talk about the Witcher games, the first one that pops into everyone's mind is usually the third entry, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. And it is placed amongst the best RPGs in recent history, but its predecessors aren't that bad either. Witcher 2, for example, has an interesting story, with great combat, and even lays the groundwork for a lot of what the third game does well. And the initial title, while a little dated now, had an engaging narrative. The Witcher has an amazing lore and story worth exploring. both by reading the books that inspired the games, but also by playing the titles and seeing those books come to life. 4. God of War. This Sony exclusive dates back all the way to the PlayStation 2 days and has had a release on every console since then. The God of War franchise easily has one of the most dedicated fan base, which basically worship the game. Each installment sees Kratos pit against bigger and more grandeur gods and obstacles, and yet the action never seems to reach a stalling point. While the main God of War series is absolutely amazing, the handheld titles should not be disregarded either. The installments for the PSP and PS Vita did not sacrifice any quality and are some of the standout entries on their respective systems. 3. Grand Theft Auto. The games may have criminals as its characters, but the series' track record is clean. GTA is a franchise that has consistently offered top-notch quality and entertained us for over 2 decades. Sure, the top-down beginnings of the franchise may seem now severely outdated, but once GTA jumped to 3D, it quickly became the top series in gaming. The open world of each game gives you freedom, while also delivering engaging storylines and amazing voice acting. The series also has variety, from the 80s-themed Vice City to the expansive world of GTA 5. We're not sure when GTA 6 will release, but we can expect great things from Rockstar Games once more. 2. The Legend of Zelda. The Legend of Zelda franchise is legendary and has gotten this far because it's not afraid to reinvent itself and its hero Link as often as it's needed. From its humble beginning on the NES to the breathtaking open worlds of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, The Legend of Zelda has continuously provided exceptional games for the past few decades. Even the weakest entries are still good games. If it weren't for the next Nintendo franchise that we're going to mention, Zelda could easily occupy the #1 spot on our list. Number 1. Super Mario. Be honest with yourself. If someone told you that you could only play one game for the rest of your life and gave you the option between a Mario game and a non-Mario game, which would you choose? It's safe to bet on one of Nintendo's most well-known franchises, right? Super Mario has been the standard for both 2D and 3D platformers for a long time, and Nintendo doesn't seem to want to slow down at all. New games are constantly being released, and each new title utilizes new hardware to push platforming to its limits. While it would be extremely easy for Nintendo just to bank on the nostalgia of Super Mario, the fact that they continue to innovate and reinterpret the main character Mario in new, bold, and ingenious ways is admirable and has helped the franchise reach new highs. Which game franchise is, in your opinion, flawless? Let us know in the comment section below what you think of the titles we've mentioned in this video. And if you want to stay up to date with everything gaming related, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon, so that way you can be notified each time we post new content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in our next video.